Hello, sir. Welcome to the ANN podcast.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to talk to you, especially given the fact that I watched a few videos about you over in YouTube and got to know that you've been involved in helicopter rescue operations for now. Do you still fly helicopters?
No, now I'm retired. I'm quite old now. Fly the helicopter, but I flew a lot of hours in this country. About 46 years I've flown in this country.
About 46 years.
46.
So when did your journey really begin? How young were you when you started?
When I was started, I was just 21 years old.
Just 21.
Yeah. Initially, I was enrolled in Royal Nepalese Army, and thereafter, Royal Nepalese Army select me for a pilot course, and they sent me to United States for helicopter pilot training, and I completed it at the age of 23. Since then, up to last year, I was keep on flying throughout.
Okay, so you went to the United States of America. If I could ask you which part of the United States?
It was in Miami, Florida. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So how different are the skies of Miami, Florida, compared to the skies of our country?
No. See, because that time, we were very excited to become a pilot. I don't even know that how to ride a motorcycle that time, and I was selected to be a pilot from the Nepal Army. So I am into United States that as if that I became pilot already. But when I reached there, so the flying is so difficult.
Uh-huh.
But it is after some hours, it comes on our hand. So we know the helicopter is not that difficult to fly.
It's not difficult to fly?
Yeah, it's not that difficult, Once you have 12 hours, then you're used to this mission. So thereafter, it's okay. Now we can fly the mission like that. But Florida and Nepal, we have a very different geographical condition there. That is plain area that is on the sea level. Whereas here, if we have the Mount Everest, and our capital city is also 4,500 feet, so they are quite high. So in the high altitude, the flying is very difficult compared to the United States or local in low base country.
Okay. So at what age did you come back to our country? So you came when you were 23? How many years did it take to complete?
No, I just stayed 5 months to complete my pilot basic training at the US. Then I come back immediately to my country and start flying here.
So you must have been involved in a lot of rescue operations.
Yes, very much, yeah.
Do you think that the number of rescue operations in our country has increased with time?
No, earlier when I was in helicopters, there was no other private helicopter company. So whole Nepal, Army, only few pilots and few helicopters were there, and to cover the whole nation's rescue mission, rescue operation, national calamities like earthquake, floods, So that time we have a lot of pressure from, we are very limited people. There was no private companies, and the rescue number is today, of course, there are a lot of flow of tourists and a lot of rescue mission is going on. That time also the minimum tourists, but maximum number of rescue operation will be conducted because the equipment was not that sophisticated. The boots they wear, the mountain clothes they wear was very heavy, so the chances of being caught in the mountain is very high, and the rescue demand also very high that time. Nowadays, the equipment also very good, and the chances of injury, the chances of getting ill in the area is very less. And today's rescue is only for, once they go to the summit, the Everest, and they come back and they said, we conquered the summit, so we don't need to walk down all the way. So they ask the rescue mission and they just go back like that. But that time when we were on the air, the rescue mission was quite difficult for us also because there were no any information about the weather. Nowadays, your weather forecast is very good. Your equipment also, helicopter is also well equipped, and all the instruments are very good and nice. That time we have very minimum instrument we have, and we always follow the map and ground, air to ground navigation. Today we have a GPS, so a lot of flying aids we have, and this time it is more comfortable than when we start here.
Okay. So, in which part of our country have you completed most number of rescue operations?
Of course, that is in the Everest region, because other mountain were all was in this, they were very difficult. There was no road, and this therefore the Mount Everest is the most focal point for the tourist also, because this is the highest in the world. So everybody is focused on this Everest region, and maximum rescue mission is that side, and you have rest of the country also, rest of the part of the Nepal also, they have a lot of accident incidents, so they ask for the rescue. We have to be there also.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Now, one of the things that fascinates me about a helicopter, and the fascination grew when I watched a video of one helicopter pilot who took a helicopter to the top of Mount Everest. I think it was a French pilot who did this as a publicity stunt. So we don't really think that helicopters can fly that high at the top of the Mount Everest. But when you, as a rescue operator, are doing or are engaged in rescuing somebody, how high have you flown in order to rescue somebody in terms of altitude, maybe 6,000, 7,000? How high would a rescue happen?
In my lifetime, this as far as you were talking about to attempt on the Everest top, I think you must have it back again, because that was a false information for you.
Oh, no.
He didn't do that. It was impossible, beyond impossible to land over on the top of the Everest. That time also there was, and they claimed later on it was false. Yeah? So in my career, I have been flown up to 7,000 meter. Landed, and I took out the passenger from there, sick person from there. My record that time was 23,500 feet, near base camp. Nowadays, these helicopters are well advanced, and they can go and land at Camp 2, 3 also. But that time we have a very limited, the aircraft was not that sophisticated, and not that performance-wise, altitude performance was not that good. So I did one rescue in it was in 1996. One rescue, one American guy was stranded in Camp 2.
Cap 2.
He was on the way to Everest, and they meet on Storm, and there are a lot of high altitude experts and climbers were dead there. And one Dr. Buck was from United States. He also stopped on the snow. His hand, he was found in next day. First day, the group declared that he is dead. He is no more, because once a person is missing on the snow on that high with 14, 16 hours, it means he is no more life. So they informed their family that Dr. Beckwith is no more. Next day, suddenly he was moving on the snow, and they found. And on that particular man, he came to Camp 4, and he brought down to Camp 2. From Camp 2, no Sherpa is willing to bring him down to West Camp, because after Camp 2, the route, Everest, ice falls, and every difficult part is out there. So Sherpa just denied to bring him down, and they asked for the elevation. And our helicopter is not designed to fly that high that time. The highest ceiling was, we call ceiling, was 20,000 feet only, but the sick person was in 23,500 feet. So I did that time. Our team, let's say our team went to base camp area, and I saw him on a real problem there, and I dropped my co-pilots to the Everest base camp, and I went alone to pick him up, and that was a big, rescue mission, and it was worldwide, and they made two movie on that Hollywood, Everest,
Okay.
and that was the highest rescue ever. And nowadays, helicopter ceiling is very high, 23,000 foot, and they can go a little higher. So no problem for that. That time, the helicopter was not designed to go that high. So I took the risk, and that's why they reward me also. And I had the opportunity to go to United States back for 3, 4 awards. And yeah, yeah.
One of the things that comes to my mind is when you're operating in such high altitude of about 7,000 meters or so, how do you find the proper place to land a helicopter? Or does it land, or do you take a rope, hoist the person upwards?
Yeah, it is a good question. And in the mountain, every place is very difficult for us. Every area, because as you go high, the air density is low. You need more power for more. There is a mechanism high to you just pull the power, and in certain condition you will end up with the power, and there will be no climb, no further climb. So the helicopter will drop like a stone. That's the main cause why didn't we go that high. So when I rescued Dr. Beckweather for Camp 2, that time 3 Sherpas were on the ground, pulling him on the snow. And they just select me one small helipad, which was not enough to put my two skid on the ground. So I managed to just put one skid on the ground and one skid on the crevasse. There's the crevasse. This is a big hole in the Sunni area. So that way, we are near to the sick person, and I pull them out from there. Like when I went to Chuyo, 7,000 meter rescue, that time it was towards China side. So they have a flat land on that high also. So you manage to land, look for the helipad, and you just make a landing out there. But normally, a lot of mountain helipad is not sufficient to land. Only pilot decision. Pilot decide, I can put my legs down, I can put my wheel down. Okay, they will do it. Otherwise, they say no. Bring it some safer place like that.
Okay. So that's how it really goes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So apart from the Everest region, has there been any notable incident from other regions of our country? Maybe in other mountains?
No, I have been flying this country since 46 years, so I have been encountered many rescues, many difficult like the Olagiri, and we have one in uh, like what you call Madan, in between. I forget the name of that place. Tileju.
Delicious.
One New Zealand team with 30 porters and 6 climbers. They went from Johnson to Manan. Okay, and in between, that is one day track only. In between, they have a heavy snowfall, and they stop there. They have to stand it on the in between Manang and Johnson. Okay, thereafter 14 days, no tracing, and later on the operator, ground operator, like the travel agencies people, they came to us that our group is missing on the snow. The track was from Grumsung to Manang. They are in between, so they seek for the help. Helicopter search and rescue mission. The weather was so bad. All 14 days was so bad. There's no one helicopter can go inside, even Johnson Band. Leave it to the teleso, but no one can reach there. So finally, there were 4 helicopters. We went for the search and rescue mission for that particular mission. And we tried from different angles, different ways. Like somebody from the Gorkha side, they try to go in by Manan. Somebody is from the follow Calicut, you go to Jumsum and you go there. Unfortunately, the weather was very bad. And my helicopters, which I've flown one, and my brigade commanders were on the another helicopter. We two went to Jorsong with the heavy rain, and it was very difficult time for us on that particular time. And we went and we rest there for one night. One helicopter, they come back, tomorrow also the weather is bad. But I said, no, I will stay here. I'll stay here. So I stayed at Jomsom. Next morning, luckily, the weather was very good. So I went early morning and I went there. It was a very dramatic. We just looked around, look all the white snows, okay, and I saw somebody that's waving with a red jacket. So we went close to them and we dropped them oxygen, food, and all. They said, no, 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 we don't want oxygen, we don't want food, we want you like that. You come, you come. We don't want this. And then we decide, okay, we'll go there. But the problem is the snow was very fresh and the thickness is, we don't know it. Maybe that soft snow, maybe 4 feet, 5 feet, or we feel attempt to land, it might go inside the snow. So we ask them just make flat. Because
It's never
our just signal them, because from helicopter there was no communication. So we just ask them, okay, make flat as much as you can. But they don't listen us. They say, just come back, just come down, my God. So then I decided to go near them. And I went down and my co-pilot was there. So I asked him to hover the helicopter near the snow and I want to jump down, okay? Because from the helicopter, only two, one captain, one co-pilot, and my co-pilot, I say, just over it, I just jump. Because I train in the army. I'm a commando trainer, training fit man. And then I said, okay, I jump. So once I tried to jump in the snow, I was just put in the snow was like this up to my chest level. So I said, no, we cannot land here. So I jump back, come back again. So we were to jump by some rope, and we tie up the rope on the helicopter and with me, and I went down. And I asked, who is the team leader? Come the team leader one day. So we put the team leader on the helipad, on the helicopter inside, and I came back to Johnson, switch off, and we talked to the team leader. He was just weeping, crying. I said, come on, guys, we are here to help you. Just help us. What is the situation there? They say, out of 36, 6 already dead, They were dead while they were coming to inform us, and another 30 also, they are on very bad shape. He said he was crying, and he said, no, don't cry. You just hold on. We are there to help you. And then thereafter, he said no oxygen, no thing. Everybody wants to be evacuated from that place. And we asked him, this New Zealand guy, okay, now you go there in one time, only 3% we can lift off from that place. And we drop you there, and we make your duty is to flat the snow, to level out the snow, so that we can land there comfortably. And then only 3% at a time you put inside the helicopter, and we'll make you whatever shortages, whatever flight you need. We are ready to do that. He said, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go back. I said, come on, you have to go back. Otherwise, nobody will help you out. I said, no. You were thinking that once I go back, helicopter will go away and I'll be finished. That you were thinking that way. So I said, come on. When I said, I slapped him. You have to go. Otherwise, I'll drop you there from the air. And then he agreed to go there, and he went down there, and he managed somehow to level up the snow. As we land there, but he cannot control the crowd. So all of them, they want to come in the helicopter and go back in one time. So for me, it was a very tough time, very difficult time I experienced in my life. I kicked them from my legs, hands, and pushed them out, even though the 6% was inside the helicopter. And we took off. We managed to take off from there with the 6, because they were very thin, 14 days out of food, there was no water even. They boiled the water, snow, and just, somebody said bring ice, like that. So they were very thin, and we took up 6 person in one go. So I bring them on the Zoom, and again I went like that. We made 6 trips to pull them all out from there. Only man, no luggage, no gear. So that was a very interesting and event in my life. We rescued, and it was very grateful.
That's wonderful. So, how much weight are you supposed to carry when you're going to missions like that? I mean, the more altitude you climb, it becomes easier if the aircraft is lighter, right? Like you said.
No, you know what? The weight is depend on the altitude. Because as you go high, your weight is less and less because your engine power is less, oxygen is less. The power is come with the mixing of oxygen, fuel, and the air. So as you go high, your load is drastically down. So in Everest Base Camp, we only pull 2 people, whereas here in the Kathmandu we take 7 people. You see. So if you go to high altitude, you have to think twice. You have to plan for your fuel. You take only the limited fuel to go there, to reach there, bring the person, and you refuel again. So we carry the fuel on our jerry can. We drop in some lowest point, and we make ourselves light, and then only we attempt to the high altitude. High altitude flying, load restriction too much. Every aircraft or every helicopters, and that is a load restriction for the high altitude because the phenomena of engine producing power is with the oxygen level and the mixing of air and the fuel. So that is where oxygen is less and less. So the power is less and less. So your load restriction is there always.
In the past month, I think we had 2 or 3 incidents regarding helicopters.
No.
We had one of Simric Air that was desecrated.
Yeah.
I think it was in Sangwa Sabah. Before that, we also had he was an helicopter captain about
Yeah.
periodical, and her helicopter was found to be involved in a particular accident in the Dalangiri base camp. Before that, we had a small incident in, I think it was in the Hams Hospital.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
So, why do you think that there has been an increase in incidents like these, or are these just cyclical?
Well, we cannot say we are all incident or accident-free airlines in the world. Something it happens, accident came without knowing anything. But in our case, within 1 month time, there were 3 helicopter mishap, 3 helicopters. So yesterday also I was taking class with my pilots, and we discussed about these 3 incident. We call incident. That the first one, let's talk with the Dynasty helicopters and with the Hems Hospital. That pilot was quite new, was very new captain, and he didn't have that opportunity to land before that particular helicopter. So that cost you, every successful mission, you have the planning, and you have the pilot should be fully aware of the situation, where he's going to land, how he's going to land there, the wind patterns, everything he should know. And for that particular point, if he is very new, the instructor pilot should show him that this type of helipad, we have to do this type of approach like that. He was not told like that. He may be told on the low altitude or on the airport, but that type of mission, he was not been told. So he was a new captain, and the helipad is confined. We call confined helipad. So he make a approach, shallow approach. Helipad is on the rooftop. He came on a shallow approach, and he don't have the reference point. We pilot used to call the reference point, so that I am fast, I am slow. You can judge that way, But he don't have a reference because it is on the top mountain. So the illusion will come. Like you are coming to approach on the helipad, but you saw the helipad coming towards you. That illusion comes, So the captain decided, no, I'm very fast. I'm approaching helipad very fast, so he flared the helicopter. So once he flared the helicopter, his tail went and hit the bar, hit the bar and that disengaged from the helicopter. And suddenly the captain's good luck, he just, the helicopter, once he struck the tail rotor, he just pushed the side gear forward and he was on the helipad. If he would have been on the air, the helicopter goes round and he fall down. And must be a very disaster of it. So that way, that pilot, we blame him to the pilots because he was new pilot, not been familiar with that type of helipad we call. Second incident was in Dhaulagiri base camp. That time also, most of our operation from outside our airport, where is no weighing machine, okay, where is no helping hand. Only those persons who are trackers and the pilot. Okay, tracker's attitude is he wants to put more load and send him quick. Okay, captain is attention is his machine is running. So if somebody might go on the tail rotor and hit, or somebody come on the main rotor or hit, like that, he is just busy on this. So in that situation, the load may be more than he can pull out. Okay, so this area is low. He can take off. Okay, fine. We took off and he went to the destination because he took off from 13,000 feet. You have to go on 15,000 plus. So it is high. The load which he picked up from here cannot hold that high. That is the one reason the overload. Maybe he had a tailwind. We call tailwind and headwind on helicopters. If you go on tailwind, more power is required. If you go on headwind, without the headwind would give you more extra lift. So it is easy to land. So tailwind, maybe that time the helicopter in tailwind condition, heavy, so he had a hard landing. Just went, he cannot hold the power. You have no power to hold the helicopter in the air. So the helicopter went all the way down and hit the ground. So he broke the ski and he took on. That was on Dhaulagiri base camp. The last one was in Far East, Gola. Okay. So there was a Arun project going on, Arun project. And there are some lifting equipment, drilling equipments to be lift in the hilly region, you have to do the sealing operation. Hanging.
Yeah.
Okay, and drop. And that day also, the captain, he dropped the load there already before. And he went that day to pick up the load from there to another place. So he went with the 4 passenger with the gear. And there was no room, good roads to land. So he thinks that he just put the skid on the nearby, and he start going down to the passengers. Okay, and that time the aircraft on the air, somebody jumped from there, so it will topple. Once it has the funny action, the main rotor hit the ground, and that was crash, and one person died, and the aircraft is beyond repair. So that was the case like that. So most of the accident in this world is 95% is human error.
Yes.
Human error. So machine is so perfectly designed that if you handle nicely, and machine will not give you some problem like this. So it is all because of human error, maybe pilot, maybe engineers or ground staff, something like that. But that was 3 helicopters we lost in the 1 month of time.
Sometimes when you take a look at incidents like these, do you not feel lucky in some ways to have survived so long? because the probability, as you say, of committing a human error is always there. And so, how much is it about chance and how much is it about pure skill as a whole? Because when we were talking to a captain whose name was Kumar Pandit, he said that it comes down to skill of the captain.
Uh-huh.
People blame the Nepalese weather too much. They say the airports are not designed well, things like that. But sometimes, as you said, most of the crashes happen due to the human error and not because of other things. So, in that regards, do you take pride in what you've done for so long without committing any error?
No, it is not like that. Nobody in the, yeah, one saying is there, there is no old pilot is bold pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Bold pilot is never old. Bold pilot is never old pilot is never bold. That is the saying, if you want to be bold pilot, you do commit a mistake somewhere. So if you want to be a bold pilot, you should not be bold one. Okay, so in my case, I also had minor incidents in my career. 46 years of flying. It's not a joke. Okay, so I had some incidents in my life also, or sometimes with me, my mistakes, sometimes it's this weather mistakes or some,
It's technical.
technical. So no one is accident free, incident free. Okay, but how you tackle that, incident is different. Major, when I fly twin engine aircraft, helicopters, and we have a lot of types single engine failure. So you should be, you should know that my machine can hold by one engine. So there is no panic, You should not panic like that. Be cool, calm all the times, no hurry. That business, flying business is not one day business. If you do one day, I have, uh, fast operation, and from tomorrow, if you are going to rest on the life, then only you do make an ST operation. Otherwise, every day you have to fly. So know your mission, and just cool and calm. You just go along with that. Then the incident and accident rate is minimized. Okay, our country is very poor countries. Is 1 minute cost you a lot of money. So operator wants to push you. Those contractor wants to push you up, come on, sir, or they show you some financial benefit also. So they'll aggravate you also. If I do 10 trips, then I earn some money like that, and you press yourself on the stress, So you want to try to finish early, and find, sometimes you might cut, and then you finish. So you should think that my human limits and the machine limits. Okay, so everything you have to calculate it and go slow, nice and smooth. I think you will avoid 50% of this incident. Sometimes, seriously you are making approach also, there will be some mistake, winning factors, there are a lot of things. So you have to be patient because this is a long-term business, not one-day business and finished and all of your life is on a rest. So you keep on doing that full and calm.
Yeah, so I think that sometimes pilots are also pressured, as you say. They are sometimes pressured by the travel company.
Yes, of course. A lot of times, in this country, this operator also pressing pilot too much because there is a competition, unhealthy competition. If they say bad weather at Lukla, some operators, they say, okay, no, for me, okay, I'll go. And they go. And the next operator, no, he can go, why not you can go? That way they push you, I say, okay, he is going, why not me? We don't compare our limitations, He is a very expert pilot, but I have little, little knowledge, little lower than him, so I must wait. On his time, I'll also make this effort, this type of flying like that. The human beings are always egoistic, If he can do it, I can also do it. And that will make a difference.
Apart from that, I think that in the 2019 Air Dynasty crash that took place, that took the life of our minister, tourism minister, I think, was dead along with the owner of BAT Airlines. And it was also said that the pilot might have been overwhelmed by the situation. I mean, we had very high level personalities in that flight, and pilot might not really have wanted to take the chance going in such inclement weather conditions. So sometimes the pressure is not vocal,
Mm-hmm.
but the pressure is.
No, that time, it was on Patiwala.
Yeah, but
Patiwala, Minister Tourism was on board, and AT's owner was on board, and that helicopters also his own. And that time weather was marginal. We call marginal weather.
marginal.
Marginal.
And that refers to you can take off, you can't take.
Yeah, you can take up that, or depends on pilot decision.
Pilot
Everything is on the pilot decision. But there was next day on the next day the tourism minister has to go to some abroad, for some meeting or something like that. So he was on pressure, and he was asking pilot
to take the chance.
take a chance. Take a chance. Okay, let's go. If they saw marginal weather snowfall, and it was an 11,000 plus, and some bulls are there, so they were decided to go. But the accident report came different way, but I was not agree with that accident report that time, because a helicopter, they saw somebody shoot from the ground, or they say some Indian failure. It's nothing. It is a simple mechanism that helicopters was with 7 people on board. 7 people on board. So the minister tourism was on the left. In the center, there was a security guard, and on the right, the captain. Okay? And the rest of the people on the back. There's a phenomenon. Temperature was about 4 or 3 degrees Celsius cold. They are waiting on inside the helicopter. They are all inside the helicopter. So, and they saw the weather is clear somewhere down, okay? And they decided, okay, let's go. So they all closed the door. They closed the door. So that altitude, if you have breathe also, that goes on with the fog,
And it creates a mist, a fog in the window.
And even sometimes in your car also it's like that, then you are inside and this breathe, there are too many people inside, so you cannot see. The windshield was covered with the fog. If the temperature outside is cold and inside you have this moist air you are breathing in and out, so that clearer fog. And they suddenly close the door, pilot start, okay? And he was he was taking off, okay? He pulled the power. So the security people, the security guard, who was in the center seat, he was near the power lever. We have a power lever there, okay? Was right next to power lever. So the captain tendency is to once take off, he lowered the collective. So the other people, they were, scared because the aircraft going down. So they want to hold something nearby, okay? And that security people, they just catch the power lever. What I guess, he catch the power lever. So as the helicopter going down, the pilot wants to stop that, pull it up, but the security guard always push it down. So he was strong enough. So he was, because the aircraft going down and your ass is coming up, and then he was to push it down. The captain could not, fight with him. And suddenly he went in 29 seconds after the airborne, he hit the mountain. It's not because one, maybe with the fog in the screen and he couldn't see anything outside. Second, the security person who is sitting in with it, captain and the minister, he was just hold the power lever and push it down. So that incident happened, and it is very fatal.
I was very patient. It was also said that the distribution of the weight was also not proper.
No, it's not that. Before he landed with that load.
Ah.
He landed before. With that load means it is load was perfectly aligned. Is that altitude, that load was okay in ground. But once he took off, everything was smooth, nice. If it is a good day, that road is no problem. It is a bad day with the snowfall outside, temperature was very cold outside, and the 6 people inside the aircraft breathing, make a cloud. And there is a demister also. There is a demister system. If you on the demister, hot air come inside the cockpit, that cloud will go away. So you can see it like this. But he forget to put the demister because he was hurry, pressure, under pressure. Go to Kathmandu and tomorrow minister has some program. So it was on that pressure. He took off. Suddenly, the fog inside, they could not see anything outside. And the second is the security person pushed the power lever down. He could not fight back to pull it up. So that was the main reason. They got 29 seconds. He just, there's no time to react, So he hit the mountain and there's some shadow.
Okay, that's wonderful. Has there been any incident where you thought that you might lose your life when you're flying? Because there are very difficult landings to do as well. Once we were talking to a captain, he said that the runway was so full of water. The first officer was so scared and thought it would be impossible. The first officer was crying. So has there ever been an incident like that when you were flying where you thought you were lucky to land or a very difficult landing that you did?
No, for our case, we don't go the runway, we go on the helipad. So we don't have that scare whether we turn the runway or it is not like that. Even here in the water also, there is no problem for us. That type of situation is not for us. That is only for the fiction guide. For helicopters, it's just
So you've flown an aircraft as well, or have you?
I've flown an aircraft also.
So according to you, is it easier to fly helicopters or is it easier
to fly aeroplane?
It is easier to
because aeroplane goes airport to airport. One destination or other. But the helicopters go in a very always in a new destination. Okay, totally new. Helipad new, the area is new. We never go many times in one place. We go different place and different atmosphere. These mountain countries, the wind this side is different, other side it would different. But the fixed wing aeroplane go one airport to another airport, so they have an easy time. I think it's easy flying aeroplane than helicopters.
One of the things that's often been said is that we don't really have the appropriate technology to make helicopter operations safe because we only fly in VFR conditions.
VFR and everything.
So what are some of the things that we as a country can do to maybe shift towards?
No, we have IFR helicopter. We have IFR. We have both VFR and IFR. We go on IFR also. If you have to go to IFR, you have to train as an IFR trainer. You have to get training and you pass it, and you can fly IFR. Most of the time, in the night flying, we do night flying. You might heard about night vision. Okay, that is also the IFR flight. But with the goggles on, night vision goggles on, that is like daytime also, so we can approach like that. But helicopter can fly IFR.
But I'm talking about when you in rescue operations, for example. I mean, IFR might be limited to some places, not accessible in others, or is IFR accessible?
No, it is not. The IFR flying is only in the limited airport only. Our helicopter has to go on the helipad. None of the helipad is IFR flying equipped. Like IFR equipment on the ground. Only Kathmandu, Pokhara, Bhairava, Nepal, they have an IFR setup. So once we go to the helipad, we go on IFR flying and land there. We used to do that for since a long time,
But maybe I didn't make this quite clear, but I'm talking specifically about when you're going in rescue missions.
No IFR, no IFR. Even Lukla, they have no IFR. And Lukla Airport, major airport, they have IFR is quite expensive. So in helipad is no chance.
It's no chance at all.
So then at home, there are a lot of equipment you need, ground equipment you need to assist you for the IFR. Not only your aircraft is IFR, but you cannot your base is not IFR, then we cannot go on IFR. Your base should also have some IFR equipment to assist you, your aircraft IFR equipment. Then only we related and we go and then like that. You have IFR pilot, you have IFR equipment in the helicopters, but the destination where you are going to land, that is not IFR like equipment we said, and base equipment. So that cannot be IFR. We cannot fly it.
You can't really fly it.
Yeah.
You said that you were talking to new pilots about the 3 incidents that took place. So are you involved also as an instructor?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Work as an instructor?
No, I normally, all airlines, they have to, once the incident happened, so all airline duty is to call their helicopter pilots, sit down and find out what was the reason. So the next pilot will not repeat the same. As last time, yesterday and today, I had a class with my pilots, So we all discussed about the incident, only that incident which happened very recent, okay? That is the duty to all our operators to call whatever incident, whatever you have to share, If there are some obstacles there while going to some places, so you have to, send some message to the flight safety office that so and so place the identity line was there, line is there, so you be careful. Because if you saw that, but next pilot may not be. So if you circulate that among your pilot group or helicopter authorities, so that every pilot should know that, okay, there is a way. Okay, there is a board activities, most likely to hear this time, wind pattern like that, You have to keep on sharing so that you minimize the incident rate. So once something goes wrong or something happened, the duty of our operators is to discuss what was happening. So to mitigate this type of operation, so you must be careful, okay? Do not do shallow approach, steep approach like that. And whatever knowledge you have, you just give them. Like later time, I ask them, you always be a little higher rather than between low, So that you can see all the way your helicopter. If something goes wrong in between, you can put on the ground. You might break the helicopter, save your life.
Yeah, the can.
Okay, so we always discussed once there is some incident. Even though also, otherwise also, every 6 months we have a refresher course. Okay, we refresh ourselves. Senior instructor will give you instruction to your pilots. Okay, within this 6 months, we had this mistake or some, hazardous things approach in our plane. So you have to discuss them all. That makes you, minimize your incident rate.
So how long has it been that you've stopped flying? For how long has it been that you've stopped flying?
It was just for 6 months now.
Just 6 months.
Just 6 months
now. And how has the life been post-retirement?
No, I feel if some helicopters flying over in the blue sky, that's I think why I become one. I want to fly more,
To fun.
So 46 years, I feel I enjoy my life thoroughly, So flying machine, and if I saw somebody going on,
it still excites you.
I regret.
There's one question I wanted to ask you about the old age of pilots. There was a crash of Tara Air Flight 197 in Jomso of 2022. In one of the recommendations that was meted out after the official investigation was carried out was that pilots who fly in stall operations not be older than 60 years. They said that the pilot was 62 years of age, and that's a bit too old. Maybe we should get down the age limit for pilots. Do you think that's right or props?
No, I don't agree on that part, because immaterial whether you are 60, 70 or 80, and as long as you follow the rule and regulation of flying norms, because there was not only one pilot, there is two pilots.
There are two pilots.
Okay, and equally good. Equally good. If an old pilot is there and you are doing something wrong, or the second pilot must warn him, so this is not on. Okay? And that time when this 80 crash on Jongsong, that time one other airlines also 1 minute or 2 minutes ahead of them. But that aircraft capabilities, their aircraft performance is too high than this aircraft. So they went all the way top of the clouds, and near Johnson, the cloud was not there. Everything was beautiful weather. So they made it. But the second one, his performance was too poor. He has no power to go that high on that short time. So they have to go inside the cloud, okay, inside the cloud. So they have to think, they have to decide here only. So my aircraft is not able to climb that high in short time. So either they have to take the height here only in Pokhara, okay, making 360 and climb, and after 12,000 and top of the cloud, and they can make the approach and land, no problem. But what he did is he just went inside the cloud into the mountain. And no one can save him. It is a blunder, into the mountain, narrow valley. He is going inside the cloud, means you are just inviting the
danger.
So he is not a good pilot. He was my friend also. And his decision that time was very wrong. And you know how it is happened. And the pilot, as a fiction pilot, they were just looking for ground, both of the pilots. And the joystick is here. If you look like that, what happened? If you look like that, this joystick is automatically go without knowingly it turns, and just it turns and hit the ground. Yeah, no, that has happened. So it's not because of the old days. It's over thankfully.
So overconfidence. Yeah, we also had that the first officer was repeatedly giving it advice. Don't go there. Don't go there. He was not in the mood of listening.
Exactly him. Yeah.
Right. So what are the plans of a retired life then?
No, I'm busy. I'm keeping busy myself because I'm doing a lot of things. I don't think the retired soldier. I'm a soldier. As for 31 years in Nepal Army, retired as a full colonel. As a full colonel, so I feel myself anytime, active. I have to keep myself active, so I'm doing a lot of small business or something like that. Keep on roaming around, and giving classes, that thing, and keep myself busy.
Yeah.
And these days I'm just going for a small short type business in the hilly areas where I can put my hours, everything, and museum for the people, and aviation museum. Like
an aviation museum. Wow, that's a very wonderful thought. Is there a particular place that you have in mind? Set up?
It's a bit of a setup in the mountain.
Yeah, in the mountains. Is there a particular preference that you have? Maybe in the Everest region?
Like what?
Maybe in the Everest region?
Yeah, exactly.
That's so wonderful.
Yeah.
So it was really wonderful talking to you. So
Me too.
We learned so many things about an aircraft, about how rescue operations work. And we hope we get to talk again soon. Thank you so much.
Well, yeah, me too. Very nice. And you have so that confidence for asking me question regarding aviation, because you know more than what I know, So I enjoyed this interview. Thank you very much. Thanks to you all. Okay, bye-bye.